Zimbabwe, a nation rich in resources and potential, is tragically gripped by a pervasive human rights crisis. Sikhala, a prominent opposition figure, courageously brought this crisis to the forefront at the recent UN summit. His impassioned plea for international intervention painted a stark picture of a nation teetering on the brink. Sikhala's words resonated with the millions of Zimbabweans living under the yoke of political repression, where basic freedoms are routinely trampled. His message was clear: the world must not ignore the plight of the Zimbabwean people. Sikhala's speech served as a stark reminder of the brutal reality faced by countless Zimbabweans. The Zimbabwean government's systematic repression of dissent has become a defining feature of its rule. Opposition parties are routinely targeted, with their members subjected to arbitrary arrests, intimidation, and violence. The judiciary, once a bastion of independence, has been co-opted, with judges facing pressure to deliver verdicts favorable to the ruling party. This erosion of the rule of law has created an environment where impunity reigns supreme. The media, once a vibrant space for diverse voices, has been effectively silenced. Critical journalists face constant harassment, threats, and even physical attacks. Independent newspapers have been shut down, and access to information is tightly controlled. This systematic stifling of dissent has left Zimbabweans in an information vacuum, vulnerable to government propaganda and misinformation. The impact of this repression on ordinary citizens is devastating. Fear permeates every aspect of life. People are afraid to speak out, afraid to assemble, and afraid to challenge the status quo. This pervasive climate of fear has a chilling effect on civic engagement, undermining the very fabric of a democratic society. Zimbabwe's future hinges on the restoration of fundamental freedoms and the establishment of a government that respects the rule of law. Section 5. Zimbabwe's plea: hope for a brighter future. Sikhala's UN speech was a desperate plea for help, a cry for freedom that resonated far beyond the walls of the General Assembly. His words serve as a powerful reminder that the struggle for human rights is a global one. Zimbabwe's fight for democracy is a fight for the very soul of a nation, a fight for the fundamental rights of its people. The world cannot afford to ignore Zimbabwe's plight. A failure to act will not only condemn millions of Zimbabweans to further suffering, but it will also embolden other authoritarian regimes around the world. The defense of human rights knows no borders. It is a universal imperative that demands our unwavering attention and action. The hope for a brighter future for Zimbabwe rests on the collective action of the international community. By standing in solidarity with the people of Zimbabwe, by demanding accountability from their government, and by providing much-needed humanitarian assistance, we can help pave the way for a more just and democratic Zimbabwe. The world must listen to Zimbabwe's cry for freedom. The time for action is now.